Before marriage, there are a lot of things that come in our minds, and in that, you have a dream guy that you want in your life, a person you want to stay with for the rest of your life. Sometimes people dream of marrying a medical doctor, maybe a teacher, a lecturer, a lawyer, a banker. Like you have a dream guy that you want to marry. For instance, you may want to marry a doctor. Wow, that's a very good dream. And doctors are so good people. Now, before marrying a doctor, there are things that you should know. And if you find that you can't really manage them, then don't marry a doctor. Forget my words. So in this video, we are going to share about some of the things that you should know about doctors before you say yes to your doctor fiancé. You're welcome to our YouTube channel, Marriage Tips with Asperia. Now, stay tuned. I'm coming back. So if it is your first time here, please, you are most welcome. A big hug for you, and I request you kindly to subscribe so that you join this mighty family and you support me and the channel to grow, so that we shall be able to produce more and more videos. And for a returning subscriber, I love you so much. Come for a glass of juice. So let's get right into the video. One thing you need to know before marrying a doctor is doctors are very busy people. Busy people as in they have really a lot of time at work and less time at home or having fun, because the nature of their job has to do with life. You know, those guys are called to serve, called to save lives. Whether she's a lady, whether he's a man, those people are very busy. You know, sometimes you may want him for a weekend and he's at home, maybe has just arrived, and boom, a phone call. Hello, there's a mother, it's bad love, come operate. And then he has to go and save life. And for sure, you cannot deny him. You can't tell him not to go, because whatever he's going to do has something to do with life. So they are really busy people. Now, before considering marrying a doctor, you need to know that, so that you will learn to be patient. Another thing which makes them busy is that their nature of duty, their nature of work. For sure, they have a lot to do research. Even after their graduation, you see them on computer reading, you see them in books. Others enroll for more, like masters, PhD. They are basically people who love academics. So once you marry such type of a person, then you must be in position to support him or her achieve their purposes in life. So if you know that my husband or my wife that I'm going to marry is naturally going to be busy, then now you will look for what to do every time. Maybe you feel lonely. Yeah, sometimes loneliness is going to come, because you can be even sleeping together and maybe you want to, and then they call him, be like, come operate this mother, you know, come do this, there's an emergency accident, do, and he has to rush to go, leaving you in loneliness. So understand that before you say yes to him. And once you say yes, once you understand that, then you'll not struggle. You know, sometimes we struggle, you be there, you complain, for me, you can't give me time, you know this. I know, yeah, they can create time for their families too, they can go out and have fun too, but not like when you marry this other person who is not a doctor. Yeah, even business people can be busy, even like you can choose to be busy, but if you love your family, you create time for them. But before marriage, understand that he or she is going to be busy at some point. Sometimes maybe they are leaders, in charges and so on, and they have a lot to do. So you must be able to support and be patient. If you can't really handle a busy man, a busy woman, don't go for a doctor. Don't! The next thing, you can never forge a disease. You know, when you're in a relationship, there are times when you feel angry and you want to show him that you are sick. You know, I'm sick. And because you know you had that quarrel, right? So you are sick, you want sympathy, you want him to, with a doctor, tell him you're sick. The next thing you will see is a full pharmacy of medicines at home. Swallow this. You know what's wrong? Abdominal pain, headache, what? You are not even sick, but you want attention. Now, instead of getting his attention, you're getting his medical attention. So you people, before marrying a doctor, you have to know that for sure you're not going to forge a disease. Or sometimes you can be there and maybe you touch his hand and be like, your hand is too hot. Are you okay? Are you sick? Like, these people, they are full of medicine. Like, everywhere they go, they are full of medicine. So be careful. Before saying yes, know that you are going to end you swallowing medicine every time you forge a disease. Yeah, doctors are really caring people. Once you fall sick, they bring medicine for you. So don't forge a disease with a doctor. That one, if you want to forge a disease, then you have to look for another person who is not a doctor. The third thing you need to know is that you are going to learn a medical language, because these people, they use their medical language everywhere they go. You can be there talking a serious conversation, like you're talking a romantic conversation, discussing good things, and boom, he brings a huge medical word which you don't even understand. Then you be there and be like, does this man think that I also have a bachelor's degree in medicine or something? Or he tells you a name of a drug, go and they give you this, like some of the words cannot even, I don't even know how to pronounce them. And then you be there and be like, but we are talking something serious here. We are having some romantic conversation. But then he's bringing it. Maybe when he's narrating to you a story, today I met a mother or a patient, and blah blah. He beats you with a very huge medical word, and you have to run to Google to ask, because sometimes you don't want to be embarrassed to see that you don't know. If you're marrying a doctor, is full of fun because you're going to learn a medical language. But then you understand that it's going to affect sometimes your conversation, because you will spend time on discussing a particular word. So what does this mean? And he has to explain it. Sometimes he'll be like, let me just leave you. So before saying yes to your fiance who is a doctor, know that you have to be in position. You have to be ready to learn medical language. Then the fourth thing you need to know is that doctors have seen it all. Now, sometimes your nakedness may not entice him, and that's a very big challenge. Yes, because they have seen a lot of nakedness, and there are a lot of naked people. So you may, even if you remove your clothes, you may feel normal. Though when he's your husband or your wife, sometimes your body can react somehow, but it may not be enough to turn them on. So be very careful. Don't say, for you are not romantic. For me I'm removing my clothes for you to see and you don't care. Actually, you can even start saying like, this looks swollen, and is there any problem? So you have to be very careful. Sometimes things which please you may not please them. Those guys have seen a lot of things. They have seen a lot of types of women, types of men. So your nakedness may not entice him. Another thing you need to know is that they always have a lot of phone calls. A lot of phone calls come in, different people, women, men, and then you'll be there feeling insecure. Who is calling my husband at night? But if you are to marry a doctor, you have to know that his phone is even going to ring in the middle of the night. And you don't have to question, who is that calling? Sometimes it's an emergency, sometimes it's a friend who has a sick child. So you have to bear with that. If you really cannot handle that, you feel like, me, I want my husband when he's at home, I don't want to see his phone ringing, then you got to check another type who is not a doctor. You have to marry a different person. It's like marrying a YouTuber, and then you tell him or her not to be on his phone. Surely that punishment cannot really work, because we have to be on phone. Then today you are editing, the other day you have to see the views, see how many the video, like you have to check how to do this, how to change a thumbnail. Sometimes you can take a long time on your computer making a thumbnail. So if you really want to be in a good marriage with a certain person, a certain person in their career, you got to understand their nature. If they have a busy schedule, then look for ways of being supportive, not judgmental. With doctors, you have to learn. Actually, if you don't have to learn, life is going to force you to learn how to be patient. So before saying yes, you need to know that as well. His phone is going to ring, 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 and sometimes you have to pick it for him and say, baby, pick your phone. Then another thing you need to know is doctors are generally smart people. I think it could be that they are the most decent guys I've ever seen. Yeah, so sometimes they may prefer to wear only white shirts. At first, I got challenges. I'll be like, white shirt which you have to wear only once. So that means every day I have to wash. And it was really hectic. I was like, what? So by then, you have to understand that that is what he likes. And now, when you understand something, it does not offend you at all. Actually, you do it better, even with love, with joy, knowing that I'm doing it for my dear husband. So know that they like being smart. So if he tells you, iron for me, do this, actually sometimes they may not tell you. You may have to learn it yourself, do this, because they have to look real smart. So before saying yes, And then the last thing, someone was saying that doctors are not romantic. I can say they are, but like 40% romantic. Yeah, because for them they are all filled with medicine. Now, someone was like, when you look at him in the face, he's like, your eyes are red. Are they itching? Like, instead of him looking at you with the eyes of love, now he starts examining you. And that is very true. Yes, because they can even, when they look at, he'll be like, this hand looks solid. Are you okay? Like, yeah, but then once in a while, they are human. Yeah, they have feelings, they go out, they chill, they joke. They are like other people. Just that their nature of job, their nature of work really requires a lot of them. So when you see him changing, maybe telling you that, now you look this, don't worry, that is a doctor for you. Before saying yes, expect that. A lot of things can be added to this list. A lot of things, just like any other career. Yeah, if you talk to someone who works in a bank, they will tell you what they are very busy. Actually, they may think they are the busiest because they handle money. Someone can be like, being a farmer, I'm so busy on the farm. Someone can be like, being a teacher can be so busy. Like, all in all, whatever you choose, you have to learn about it before. When you know that my husband is going to be busy, going to be this, then you already know how to handle him or her. And then all those things, complaints, my husband never told, my wife never told, busy, whoa, whoa. Then when they will never be there because you really understand. So before you complain that your wife cannot make you breakfast, if she's a doctor, then you have to know that her nature of the work is like this. And when you know it, you won't struggle. You will not struggle, you will be supportive, and your marriage will thrive. So thank you so much for watching this video. I would also request you kindly to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and then we grow together. I love you guys. Again, bye.